Hey everybody, what's going on? I want to talk to you today about Valkyra. If you watch my daily Let's Play series of the game, you'll know how big of a fan I am of this champ. And I feel like she deserves her own video for where she's at because I talk about her a lot. And in my Discord and my comments, I see a lot of people saying, I didn't realize she was this good. I have her and I haven't built her. So I kind of wanted to do a PSA, I guess, for any of my like earlier slash mid game players. If you've got her and maybe you looked at her and thought, you know, she's only got the one lane of range, like maybe there's some reason you think she's not that good. I'm gonna try to convince you otherwise so that you can build her today, because of the champs that I've pulled so far, she's by an absolute mile had the biggest impact on my account. So we're gonna show off a little bit today. She's super easy to build. You really just need to put attack on her. And she's got some really cool mechanics. Her ult is really cool, and again, I'll show you kind of at a bird's eye everything she's accomplished for me since I got her. Long before I had her at level 50, long before I had all her purple stars in her, long before I had better gear on her, long before I had any skill ups in her at all, she shines immediately. All right, so let's take a look at her skills and talk about what she's got going on. Now again, we saw her range. She's got where you put her, and then 3 ahead of her by default. Now with promotions, she gets a couple new skills. She gets the passive, and then I think with awakenings, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, if I can get her awakened once, she'll get another attack range, which will be really cool. But even without it, she's crazy. All right, so we've got her basic attack deals 105% AoE damage to multiple enemies in range and inflicts vulnerability on them. So she's just constantly pumping out AoE in a straight line. It's really hard if she's got the range, if she's looking down a lane, it's really hard for anything to even get to her, which again is why she's so easy to use. Sword of Victory increases attack by 5% after every 16 seconds up to 8 times. As you skill it up, this changes a little bit, but basically the longer she's in the fight, the stronger she gets, which is really helpful in a lot of the stages because it tends to ramp up towards the end of the stage. Here we've got her passive, immediately revives 1 allied unit in range and restores 50% HP for them. This effect can only be triggered 1 time per deployment and does not revive herself. And then her ultimate increases damage by 40% for 20 seconds. 20 seconds! Consumes any shield the hero has at present, increasing attack range by 1, attack speed by 100, and damage by up to 100% based on the strength of the shield. So she gets 1 extra range, which can be used very effectively. Something that this doesn't say is that her ult, she ordinarily cannot hit airborne enemies. When you ult, during her ult, she can hit airborne enemies, which again has been pretty handy for me in a couple of places. So it doesn't say that anywhere, but it can. She can hit airborne units with her ult. So as far as the gear goes, I've just gone attack, right? Attack with any attack bonus I can find is what we've leaned on her. We went right on the ring, but it's because we got attack. Also attack speed I think is pretty nice on her. She already attacks pretty fast, but I feel like if you can continue to get that attack speed up, it's really nice. And then here, attack with attack speed, crit rate. You know, same stats. Get her attack up, get as much attack bonus as you can, get attack speed on her, and then it seems like crit rate after all of those things. Crit rate's apparently something you want to focus a little bit later in the game, where it's supposed to get a little bit easier to get. So if I had it, I would put an attack bonus ring here probably as well. But we've got her in Twisted Blade and a Savage Strike, just to anything that boosts her damage, right? We just want pure damage out of her. So as far as what she's accomplished for me since I pulled her, it's pretty unreal. If we go into the promotion raids, you'll see in the marksman raid, I'm stuck on 13. In mages, I've cleared 15 where I can auto it. In endurance, I've cleared 15 where I can auto it. In melee, I've cleared 15 where I can auto it. And all 3 of those are, I mean, 85% because of her at a minimum. I think melee was the first one that we got to 15 on, and I think originally I was stuck on like 7 or 8, And then I got her and figured out how to start using her kind of effectively. And we literally just worked our way all the way up to 15 with ease, kind of doing the same thing we were doing. So I'm gonna let an auto fight play here and talk about how I'm using her. So you see we've got all these open lanes, right? So what we do is we let her take the vertical line on it. And then we just put someone else in the way one lane back. Just something that stops the enemies for any amount of time, because she will also hit anyone that touches her on the side or behind. So basically, anybody that cannot get one-shotted, and you see how much damage they take if anything hits them. If not for her, they'd be getting melted. Like, there's no shot we're going to be able to clear this without her, and she's making it easy. It's strange. It's unreal how strong she is compared to what's going on in the rest of my account. And that's it. I think in this one, your units start to get passive healing over time. So you don't need a healer. We don't need any more range support. We literally just need someone to be in the way so that she can take care of the entire stage for us. So that's I believe that's the melee one we just did, right? Let's move over and take a look at her in endurance. I believe on this one, yeah, on this one, I'm giving her the whole top lane. I'm letting her just worry about the whole top lane. I put a healer here so that I can do some other stuff, but then the rest of everybody that I use is going to be to control every part of the map she's not touching. She's got that whole top lane on her own, though. Now, maybe I throw someone else up there after I get everyone else in place at the bottom. But yeah, I put him here for this middle lane mostly. That's it. I've got a healer there that she might not even really need that much. It looks like she is taking a little bit of damage. So she needs some sort of support, but that's it. I could have not put him here. I could have put him down here somewhere to help more, and she would have been fine. It's ridiculous, man. I can't remember where they are. I tried to find them and I couldn't find them. They might have been campaign. Maybe it's a gear raid. I'm not sure which stages, but there's a series of stages where you have these green bugs that when you kill them, they explode and they leave a cloud of poison. So the explosion does impact damage and then the poison lingers around. And it's really tough. And the way that the map is set up, they come down this lane, they come down some lane, and then they end up in the midst of all your heroes. And when they explode in the midst of your heroes, it's really hard to like out heal. But you can put her in that top lane where they spawn from and give her no healing, no extra support, no nothing, and she just keeps them from ever getting near your whole team. It's kind of unreal. Mages, even though this one is mages, she is a big part of why we have any success here. Let's take a look at how we set this up here. So we give her, now granted, she's got a little bit of help from the middle. And now we've got extra squares, so we're filling them in. I put her up here to slow some stuff down to help her out a little bit, but she's basically, again, I really think she could do it without him even. She's taking on the part of the map that has 3 spawners. And then they're all down here mostly for this lane because I need so much more down here than I need up here because she's there. I don't believe, I think if I was trying to use Baron or something here, or Abomination, I'm not certain we would be able to do this. I don't know that the rest of the units up here are enough. Maybe I'm getting to the point now where like he's getting strong enough. I've upgraded him quite a bit since we originally got this clear. But before he was upgraded, before everybody was stronger, she was pretty much doing the whole top part of the map by herself. So there you go. We've got 3 of the promotion raids at 15 because of her. And then we'll take a look. I think it's the Marksman raid. But it might be Gear Raid 3, actually. I think it might be Gear Raid. Is it Gear Raid 3? That's the... Where can you see map info? Am I crazy? Here. It's this one. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I put her here after everybody else is placed down, and she doesn't do much until the end, but at some point the boss gets kind of close and you can ult. She'll extend her range by 1. She can target the boss and then hit the boss and the other airborne stuff that comes in her range. So she's useful in that way. Like you can, if you're struggling with ranged units in there, she's pretty helpful in there. But like all of my success, the resource raids are honestly a joke now, as I encounter them with the way that the map is set up. I'll let you see what she looks like. Anywhere that there's a choke point like that you can put her in, where everybody has to go to that spot, it's over. It's done. It's no longer a problem. The only maps you might struggle on are the ones where there's multiple crystals for you to protect, and she can't protect them all. But anytime that you can put her in any spot on the map that protects everything you're trying to protect, it's over. Like, they really don't stand a chance. You give her a little bit of healing sometimes, a little bit of support, and she's gonna lock most of the game down for you, at least at this stage. Again, this is not necessarily a late game guide. I don't have any late game experience yet, but I can tell you from my experience as a new player in the early game, and as I work my way to the mid game, as I try to climb out of this early game transition, she has been unbelievably impactful on my account. So like, I know people keep saying how amazing he is. I'm starting to feel it now that I'm starting to get some better gear. I'm able to get some more resources in it. I'm starting to feel how strong this guy is too. But her, out of the gate, with blue gear, a couple of purple stars, no skill ups, just immediate crazy impact. So I reckon if I haven't made the case for her now, I'm not going to. I just kind of wanted to show her off a little bit. And again, maybe there's some new players that aren't building her, because I don't know how much she gets talked about. I haven't watched a lot of content on the game yet, but it seems to me from the responses that I get when I talk about her, people are like, I didn't realize she was this good. I've got her sitting in my roster and I haven't done anything with her yet. If you're one of those people, especially in the early mid game, do something with her, because she's crazy. She needs very little resources and very little support to be crazy impactful on your account. I've gotten through so much of this, I think, solely because I have her. I think if I didn't have her, I would be struggling a lot more in a lot more areas of the game. She's unlocked quite a bit of the game for me. So if you've got Valkyra, build her. That's my advice. And that's it. I'm going to get out of here. I hope this helps somebody. I hope this gets her out of somebody's... I don't think there's a vault, but I hope it gets her off somebody's bench, because she's crazy strong, crazy good. My favorite hero in the game at this point. I don't know a lot of the heroes yet, so that might change at some point, but so far, she's far and away my favorite hero in the game. So that's it. That's my quick advice for any newer players. I'm getting out of here. Hope it was helpful. Appreciate you guys.